Kit&Tully by Mocha von B. Young adult romance with chills. 15. We need to talk. Felice heads off to bed when we get back to the house, and Spike goes to curl up on the couch in the TV room. That leaves Tully and I sitting across from each other at the granite-topped island in the kitchen. After what happened, I can't sleep, and I'm sure he can't either. I fill the kettle to make a coffee. The morning sun hurts my eyes. "You knew where I was," he says. "You came looking for me." "Yes, I saw you. In a dream. Don't you think that's weird?" "I wish I could remember more," he says, "but it's all a blank." I flush, glad he can't, cringing inwardly at the things I said when I thought I'd lost him. But Tully is so deep in thought he doesn't notice. "The only thing I remember is the end, just before I woke up. There was this really strong sensation, almost like Angus was inside me." He shakes his head. "It's stupid, but it just felt so strong." Angus. The name sends a shiver through me. What did he want? "I don't know. Have you ever had one of those really vivid dreams that you're sure you'll remember, but when you wake up it's gone completely, and no matter how hard you try, you can't find your way back into the dream?" I nod, knowing exactly what he means. "Well, I guess it was like that. I still feel the memory of it there, tugging at the edge of my mind." "Angus was there," I say. "In the tunnel." "Tunnel?" "The chamber, underground. Surely he must remember that. In the passage grave." "Kit." Tully's voice is soft. "We couldn't have been in there. It's locked." But the second entrance. I choke the words back before I say them. Nobody believes in the second entrance. How could they, when no trace of it was left? I look away embarrassed. "I should go," he says when I don't reply. "Yeah, I want him to stay, but I don't know how to tell him that." "Work," he says. "I need to get cleaned up." "Does Mac mind you working days?" I ask. "You must be missing rehearsals." "What?" Tully is distracted, like his mind is elsewhere. "Oh, Mac. No, he doesn't need me. Baz is back." "Baz is back?" This is a piece of news that Spike somehow missed. "Yeah, he's broken up with Jenna and moved in with the lads, so they don't need me anymore." "That's a bummer." "Oh look, it was a dream. It was never going to happen. This is reality." He eyes the stack of videos from More Video for You, which he's bringing back to the shop. "I'm lucky to have a job. It helps Mam pay the rent, and it puts petrol in the car." "But surely Black Death are making money." "No, they're all broke." Tully lets a small grin break through. "It was a bit of an eye-opener." "Broke? But they've gigs every weekend, and they're top of the Irish charts." "You don't need to sell that many records to top the Irish charts. And don't forget there's 7 of them, plus manager and all the equipment and the van. When everything is paid for and what's left over is divided up, it's not that much. Still, they're in a great position to break through to the next level, and that's where the money is." But I'm not interested in the band's finances. "I can't believe Baz and Jenna have broken up," I say. "Why not? Sure, their relationship was splitting up the band." "Mac could have been more understanding," I say. "They really cared about each other." "If Baz cared that much about Jenna, he would have left the band and never looked back. That's what I'd do." Tully's vehemence surprises me. "But Baz cares about Mac too, and he's invested in the band." "Yeah, maybe. Sometimes it's hard to make the right choice." Tully stands up. "I'd better go. Thanks for coming to find me." I see him out and watch as his car drives down the avenue into a bright new day. After he's gone, I sit in the kitchen, cradling the cold mug of coffee in my hands and staring out the window at the ancient burial tomb in the distance. What happened up there? Was it real or was it a dream? If only Tully could remember something to help me. But he does remember something. He dreamt that Angus entered him. I sit up straight and stare at the tumulus in the distance. Suppose it wasn't a dream. Suppose Angus gave Tully the same choice he gave me. Love or music. Which would he choose? No, if that had happened, Tully would surely have remembered. The morning is long and I envy Tully a job that takes his mind off things. I just keep going round in circles, getting more and more tired. But there's no way I'm going to sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I feel the chill of the tunnel, see the bluish cast on Tully's lips, and hear Angus' creaking whisper hiss in my ear. How can Tully possibly be all right after that ordeal? How can he not remember it? Felice eventually comes downstairs at lunchtime. Spike hears her and emerges sleepily from his lair. Has Tully gone? She asks. Are you two a thing? No. It comes out too strongly, and they both pause. Methinks the lady doth protest too much, Spike says. He's growing on you, I can tell. Exactly, and Kit knew where to find him. Felice's eyebrows crease into a frown. On her own too. Yeah, and they were both looking very comfortable when we turned up. Hope we didn't interrupt anything. Spike's goblin-like face is a picture of mock concern. No, I grit my teeth. They can't just pretend everything is back to normal, because it isn't. You didn't. Tully is a bit slow off the mark, Felice murmurs. Wonder if I should have a word in his ear. What about Mac? Spike asks. Has the golden boy fallen off the radar? Mac's only interested in himself, I reply. Yeah, but you knew that, Spike says. Didn't you? Felice sounds interested for the first time. Oh, fatal error, Spike says then. You did know that, but you still thought he'd be interested in you. The exception that proves the rule. Felice shakes her head. You must have known that was never going to happen. Somebody like Mac, all you get is what they want to give, and usually it's more hassle than it's worth. I watch her, wondering how she knows this. He's a narcissist, like my dad. She answers the question before I have a chance to ask it. That's the thing about the three of us. We can read each other too well. Even now. Dad always wants to look like he's loads of money, Felice says. But it comes and goes. Sometimes I can ask for anything and get it straight away. Other times he gives me nothing. It's all about image, impressing everyone with how great he is, and ultimately suiting himself. Mac is the same. I nearly laugh, because even though she might word it differently, that is almost exactly my mother's opinion of Axel Carr. Felice is hard on her dad because she blames him for the divorce, which admittedly was his fault. But the way I see it, nobody's family life is perfect, and she can twist Axel around her little finger. The house in Rathmines is the latest proof of that. But I don't have the energy for that argument again. Guess what Tully just told me? They wait, both of them, in anticipation. Neither of them can read the answer to this one. Baz is back.